Reviews, the biggest news, the what's new, and the who's who. Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast with Joe Mango and James.
Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast number 30 for my 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you. Oh, man, it feels good to finally, feel like I've achieved my life goal of turning 30.
Of becoming an adult, finally.
I'm an adult now. Anyway, coming up on the podcast today, we're going to talk about PalWorld because it looks hilarious. We're also going to talk to Ali.
Hi!
From ZGames. They've got Tekken 8 coming out. Loads of exciting stuff with that. Really cool. We've also got our normal stuff like our gaming news of the week. And I want to talk a little bit about Indiana Jones. All of that is on the way and more for podcast number 30. Woo! And now it's time for our special guest, Ali from ZGames. Woo!
Hey!
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Joe. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very excited to have you. You know what's really funny, like quick story, is I had messaged you like a year and a half ago or something when
Yes.
we were like one of our first podcasts and I was saying, hey, we're looking for guests for our podcast.
Yep.
And then somehow I just we got lost in translation, whatever happened, things happen. And then I messaged you again, and then I was like, wait, I messaged you before.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, I remember you were about to start, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Let me know what happens. And I think you got busy, I got busy. And
Yeah.
here we are again.
Amazing. It was always bound to happen.
Yes.
But now you're working at ZGames. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you do there, and then we can move on to a bit more about what ZGames does.
Sure. So, hello, everyone. I am Ali Al Sayed, and I'm a PR and marketing manager at ZGames. Some of you might notice me from the IGN days as well. But now I basically help promote our stores, ZGames. As you know, we have 29 stores across the GCC, and we're aiming to open more.
It's incredible. Really cool.
Yep. And the good thing about it, we started this journey from 2021. So coming a long way in 2 years with 29 stores is actually amazing.
Really good,
Yeah.
really good. And just to cut you off really quickly, you have one in Dubai Hills Mall.
Yes.
My wife loves that mall, so now I have like a second home.
It's sweet.
While she's shopping, I'll be like, you go. I'll go with the baby, and I'll come find you guys and just chill there for a couple hours if that's all right.
I mean, yeah, you're always welcome. Yes. So yeah, aside from taking care of the marketing and PR for ZGames, I handle some of the awesome publishers that I've been working with for more than a year and a half now. Some of which are Capcom, Square Enix, Konami, 505 Games, TH Nordic. The list goes on. And
I mean, it's a pretty good list so far, isn't it? I mean, that's some amazing publishers with some amazing games and such long history as well.
Yes.
So that's for the Middle East.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Okay,
for example, if a game is coming out for Capcom, for example, I'm technically your Capcom guy.
No way.
Yeah, and it goes with majority of the publishers.
So
as well.
you're kind of the person we need to become very good friends with to be able to get some games nice and early and...
Tell me more, Joe. Tell me more.
Yes. Cool. Well, I don't know when your birthday is, but I'm going to get you some cake and some presents very soon.
I'll tell you off the air. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
This is not a bribe.
Amazing. So part of the ZGames kind of brand not only is like having an awesome store where you can buy, anything from PlayStations to
Accessories,
headphones,
games,
accessories, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you also manage all those the publishers and all their releases and stuff for the Middle East. That's really cool. I bet
fun.
it's hard though.
It is hard, but also it is fun to see the reaction of the fans of certain franchises. Like, for example, when Resident Evil 4 remake came out, March, end of March last year.
We love that game, by the way.
Same here. Like I remember the amount of messages from people that I don't even know, just like wanting a code or wanting to do coverage for it, which is amazing to show you how big the community of gaming in the Middle East is. No matter how people tell you, like gaming is not good for you and everything, but no, there's a massive crowd and people who are actually hardcore fans for so many franchises and so many games. And it's amazing to always see the discussion about whether, I like this part of this game, or I like this game, or I didn't like this game. And then you see this constant conversation going, whether through reviews or communities. It's a fun thing.
And I
always a
feel
fun
like
thing.
in the Middle East, it is growing in such a nice way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you probably see it more than most because of, everyone who wants the codes off you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, getting to publish games like Resident Evil 4 Remake, which in my opinion was one of the best games of the year.
Yes.
I don't think it was ever going to win Game of the Year, but that was probably because it was like, it's a remake.
Yeah. Yeah, I was still
But,
feeling very
I mean,
iffy
it was
about
an
that, yeah.
amazing remake, what they did with that game. So obviously that's one of the a really highly regarded games that you got to publish. And this is, no offense to any of the publishers, but sometimes they don't always publish the best games.
That's true.
But you still have to put your heart and soul into the release of that.
Of course, because see, this is going to sound so cliche, but every game that comes my way, whether personally, since I'm a gamer, I'm a fan or not, it becomes my own baby, and I need to make sure that it gets the proper exposure, the proper attention, get the feedback from players, send it to publishers. So if there's any issues or anything that needs to be fixed, all of that needs to be handled properly.
Yeah.
So of course, this is where I think you put your personal opinion aside and just focus on the task at hand and make sure that every game that comes your way, big or small, gets its proper attention, proper exposure. Make sure that there's always a communication with publishers in terms of, okay, we're hearing that there are some issues with this part of the game or that part of the game. So
Yeah.
So it's always a nonstop fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I do love that now. And I know this is kind of a bad and good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously once people have, publishers have put the game out there, they can always fix it later on.
Of
which
course.
some people go, I don't like that, because then they kind of put it out and it's not finished, but then they fix it later on. But I feel like obviously no one really tries to do that, apart from, what was that, the Days Gone that got released?
Was it? No, not Days
Was it
Gone.
called?
The day before.
The day before. Yeah.
That was.
Ooh.
I felt the pain of the PR team basically going through all of that. That was difficult. Yeah, that was difficult.
A bit of a crazy one.
Yeah.
But you've got a massive game coming out very soon, and I got to be honest, it is my childhood. Playing this game with my brothers. I got 4 brothers, and that was like the game that we used to play, and I still play it now. It's actually one of the only games I can get my wife to play, and she always plays Nina.
Okay.
And she always destroys me with the same move over and over again. And that game is, of course,
Tekken 8. Yeah.
Tekken 8. I can't believe it's like the 8th one.
Right.
I mean, it's been coming. When was the first one released? It was 94?
I think, or 95. I remember started playing Tekken with Tekken 3 on PlayStation 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Eddie was my guy back then.
Yeah.
Now Nina is my girl.
Law, man. I was Law. I did the backflip kicks.
Oh,
and
no
everything.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so no, for me it's Nina and King, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes the panda.
I also quite like the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
Who would I can never say his name.
Same.
But anyway, he goes zoop down and then zoops up and everything. I like that guy, spins round. But I mean, what a game!
Yeah.
That's got such an amazing kind of
massive following. It's been amazing. I'm sure you played the demo that came out in December. Which
it's a good esport as well.
Not only that, so the good thing that I love about Tekken 8 is they did this thing where, okay, we have our hardcore fans, but what about the players that love fighting games? But because again, you have your arcade style games, which is like you do a couple of combos and you're good to go. But then you have Tekken 8 and like Street Fighter and all these games that requires like a lot of buttons basically for you to create a combo. But with Tekken 8, they created a simplified assist mode basically, where rather than pressing all these buttons just to land the combo, you have like a couple of buttons to press and you're good to go. The other good thing as well, you will see that there's a lot of single player and story mode coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a lot of fun modes. So again, like now we are like the game is catering to all the crowds, new and upcoming as well. Which is amazing.
No, that's really cool. I'm very excited for it. And if you do want to get your hands on it, straight away, you guys are running an event.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, of course. So January 25th, which is today, we are having a midnight launch at ZGames Dubai Hills Mall from 10 p.m. People who come and join us from 10 p.m., they'll get to have the chance to get their hands on the game and try it early, and also, of course, get to buy it. And we have a fun activity where basically we have a punching machine where the top 3 scores will get collector's edition. So the first place will get premium collector's edition. Second place.
I'm really good at those punching machines.
I mean, hey.
I know I don't look super big, but I've got good technique.
Yeah, so
Mate, I'm coming to try that.
Yeah, you should, because hey, you might be walking out with one of the editions. So like premium collector's edition, standard collector's edition, and the ultimate edition. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that would be so.
And
cool.
there will be a lot of fun merch and a lot of stuff. And again, you get to try the game 2 hours before it releases.
And then from midnight, you can basically buy the game.
Even
Is
from
that
10
how it
p.m.
works?
Even from 10 p.m. you can buy it and collect it
okay,
there
from
and
10 p.m. Okay,
yeah, and there will be merch and there will be a lot of fun stuff. So I highly recommend that you would come, and you guys come as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Make sure you get yourself down there. So, Tekken 8 at Dubai Hills Mall, ZGames from 10 p.m. Make sure you get yourself down there. It's going to be awesome. You can win some really cool stuff. All you have to do is punch a bag, not a person.
Nope.
You're not doing like a one of the. Okay, no.
Not yet. We're not there yet. We're not that liberal yet.
Amazing. And also, I quite like because it's like an empty mall.
Yes.
Right? It'll be like the mall will be empty then, which is always really.
Well, hopefully it won't be empty because we're gonna be there. So.
Oh, that's true. It'll be empty apart from everything that's going on down at ZGames.
That's true.
Amazing, Ali. Well, thank you so much for that. I can't wait. The event's going to be amazing. We will see you down there today from 10 p.m. Okay, so for the next order of business for the podcast today, I wanted to talk about PalWorld. Ali, you're right to stick around and just chat about this new amazing game.
Of course.
Okay. So, I mean, James, you've seen it, obviously.
I've seen it, haven't touched it, but I've seen it.
I haven't played it yet either. I'm genuinely going to download it tomorrow and play it.
So I'm the only one who actually started playing it today. Nice. Okay.
You know the most.
Today.
Yes,
You definitely know the most. But if you haven't seen it, like we kind of spoke about, it is just like Pokemon with guns.
Yes.
Now, I actually saw this like a year ago, maybe. Like we spoke about it on the podcast. We're like, someone's put a trailer out, and I thought it was kind of like one of those joke trailers because you do get those where people like do something in Unreal Engine 5 or something like that, and they're like, oh, it looks kind of cool, but it never actually turns into a game. And then like a month ago or less, it was like, no, this is an actual game, right? Not only is it an actual game, it sold 5 million copies within like a
3
week
days.
or 3 days,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
3 days.
3 days.
Which is amazing. It now has got the most concurrent views on Steam ever for a paid game, which is like over 1 million concurrent views.
Second most played game ever on Steam.
There we go.
Which is just incredible. Like, it's been out a week or something, and it's getting these numbers. First of all, I have no idea how these developers are keeping up with that amount of traffic.
Yeah, the servers are crashing. Yeah, the servers are crashing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I mean, if they've got 1 million concurrent, does that mean they're actually in game playing?
No, I see. The first 2 days or the first day it was 1 million. 3 days later, the third day it was 5 million. I'm sure if we check now, it's going to be more than like 7 or 10 million.
Crazy.
You know what's the funny thing? This game popped up for me literally last week on Instagram.
Yeah.
And literally the first, one of these content creators start creating on it, and the recommended ones for you either on TikTok or Instagram, and there's like, you can't believe this, but this game, it's literally Pokemon with guns. I'm like, okay. And the fun thing, like you can see IGN, GameSpot, everyone ran with it. Like everyone's saying, it's like Pokemon with guns. But also, here's the fun thing now with all this success and everything, I was listening to a podcast today, and apparently people are start saying, how is Nintendo not like coming after them? Because if you look at some of the characters in there, they were like, I would say the right word, which was inspired by Pokemon characters, not because a lot of people are coming in, and again, the fanboys are coming in. I was like, no, this is comparing this to that and that to this.
Yeah, well, some people are kind of saying like, okay, we get it. They look kind of like Pokemon, stylized as Pokemon, but some of them actually look exactly like Pokemon, like very, very similar.
Like some characters can be like picked out in comparison.
Yeah, like some of them, they do look Pokemon-esque, but they don't look like Pokemon characters.
Yeah.
But some of them actually do look 90% like a Pokemon character kind of thing.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm gonna do an interesting side note here for Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown. I'm not sure if you guys played the Ori franchise on Xbox. Okay, so
I'm
Ori,
familiar. I didn't
Ori
play
and the Blind Forest and Any of the Will of the Wisp. If you play these two
okay.
games and you play Prince of Persia, you will see the heavy inspiration between these two games. Like to the point where he's my favorite, all-time favorite soundtrack for video games composer. His name is Gareth Cooker. He's the same person that did the Ori franchise and he did Prince of Persia. Do I say that Ubisoft just went up and copied everything from Ori? No, they got inspired, but they added their own twist.
Yeah.
And the fun thing for everyone that's coming after them and saying, "Oh, you guys are copycats" and all that stuff, Xbox wouldn't have took the step to put it in Game Pass unless if it went through their lawyers. Like
Definitely.
even yesterday,
they 100%
They've got
showed
powerful
Nintendo
lawyers.
this.
yeah, thank you, exactly, and even the.
As we found out with the Activision.
Thank you, exactly.
They
yeah.
get their way.
That number will be forever written down in history.
Yeah.
Anyway, so even yesterday, I'm not sure if he's the Sony head of Japan, but I'm blanking on his designation. But Shohei Yoshida basically tweeted about it yesterday, and he was like, "We need this on PlayStation as well." And he didn't just say it to please the fans. No, he started tagging also the PlayStation R&D team.
Yeah.
So if that's the case and they felt that was a copycat, why will everyone be serious to have it on their own platform?
Well, you would have assumed that Xbox would have got an okay from Nintendo.
Of course.
I don't think they would have launched it without Nintendo signing something going, yeah, you're right. Because imagine if they sold 5 million, 10 million copies and then they got done for it. The backlash would have been horrendous. So, I think it's fine.
The other good thing as well, I'm glad that even if there's like major comparison, have we seen the latest Pokemon games? We don't even talk about Scarlet and Violet because it wasn't the greatest, right?
Yeah, because they're just not adapting properly.
Thank you. So now when they see this, it might bring up a good competition. Now that the Pokemon company might say, okay, if these guys
We
manage
need
to
guns.
Just to make it
the solution
different.
for everything is guns. No, we're not supporting that. But hey, again, it puts up a good competition. It's like, okay, if these guys manage to bring out this game and it's running really well even on Steam Deck. You know what I mean? So if it can do that, then maybe they were like, okay, maybe we need to up our graphics. Maybe we need to pay attention to how we put our games in the future. And that brings up good competition. Yeah.
No, for sure. There is one thing that I don't know if I read today. I don't know if you've seen it, but someone has already modded Pokemon into it.
Seen that, yes.
So they've modded
Why not?
They've modded like Ash and the whole crew, and even like what are the baddies with
from Team Rocket?
Team
Yes,
Rocket.
yes. Yeah,
They've
yeah,
even
it's your
modded
first
like
J-
Team
yes,
Rocket
yes,
into
yes.
it and everything. And
Jesse, there we go.
And apparently the guy who modded it did say, Nintendo have come after me.
Oh, of course.
So
he goes. If Nintendo managed to come after him in hours, they could have shut this game out.
Yeah,
The other fun
exactly.
thing that I saw today on IGN US account, they made the Pokemon rap song, but with the PalWorld characters.
Oh, dear.
I'm like, you guys are so fast. But it was so fun to watch, though.
I tell you what, I did go on IGN today. Like I do like every day, like scroll through some stuff. There was so much PalWorld content out.
Yeah.
Like so much. The top 5 characters to get from here. Do this, do that. And I'm like, wow, they're on it. They're,
Because it's a hot topic.
we should have got
Trending.
on it, James, quicker.
Yeah, I mean, well, for the uninitiated, I don't know much about it. So what exactly is it? What do you do in it?
It's
Ali, you've played it. Go on.
Yeah, it's literally if you want to ask me what it is Minecraft meets Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild meets Pokemon meets everything. So you go around, gather resources, start building. Like you start with like a bench to start building stuff, whether if it's like weapons or your what's it called?
Like it's actual.
Are there survival elements?
No,
to
yeah,
it?
Yeah. So you get hot, you get cold, you get hungry.
Yeah,
right.
It's everything, and basically you start crafting all of these things, and then you start catching.
Yeah.
What are they called? PalWorlds? Like
Pals,
pals?
yeah.
Yeah. So you start catching all these pals, and then you start recruiting them to do stuff. I love how I was seeing one of the content creators who apparently saw a walking merchant, and he decided to catch him with the ball. And basically, he managed to catch the merchant.
Yeah.
And the moment he released the merchant started doing stuff for him. And he's like, I can't believe I brought back slavery in 2024.
No, I saw one. The guy like caught a human and then sold the human.
Yeah. So it's literally all of these games combined.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it seems like it's quite open. So the actual, like, in the title, it says it is an action adventure survival game.
There we
So
go.
that is what it is. But yeah, like it doesn't seem like it seems like there's a lot of different things you can do in it. Like it's pretty open. And there was one guy I saw today. He can grab like a fox type character that shoots flames out of its mouth. I don't know if that seems recognizable to you from any other game. And he basically holds it in his arms, and then he like presses a button, and it's like a flamethrower. He basically breathes fire.
And for me, it happened the same. It happened the same, but with a sheep. I had no idea. I just hold it and throw it. I'm like, okay, cool.
and there are guns. Like I'm looking at an image of what do you call this one?
There are guns.
A minigun, like an actual minigun.
Yeah. There's like proper guns in it. Yeah. But I mean, what a great idea, and the fact that they were able to pull it off, I'm like that has got a
that's amazing. Yeah,
well done to that person or
again 5 million players in 3 days. Insane.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But was it? I mean, why did it get so popular so quickly? What was it? Marketing? Was it? Just because
you get to play as Pokemon with guns,
really
James.
Good.
Like, honestly, what are you not getting about this, James?
It is as simple as that. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but it's literally because it's Pokemon with guns.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, do you not remember, like, when Fortnite kind of came out, right? And I guess it was kind of like a viral success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And the main success was those videos of people in a group at a party and someone won.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, oh my God, they won at Fortnite kind of thing. And then that was like, those sort of videos kind of went viral. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You get to play as Pokemon, like characters, and you get to shoot guns, James. What?
But do the pals shoot guns or you shoot guns?
Both.
Both.
You can also put your pals into like a to work, and they can like build guns for you. They're like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, so they could like work in factories and stuff. Right?
Hence the slavery thing.
Yeah, there you go. Now,
it's clicking. Okay.
Yeah, now James gets it.
Maybe you've swayed me now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like
wait,
Rust.
was it because of slavery?
It's kind of like Rust meets Pokemon meets some other crazy stuff. But I'm totally into it. Well done to the developers who are... I mean, who's the actual developer? I got it here. Pocket Pair, Japanese developer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
So well done. It is made on Unreal Engine 5 as well.
Yeah.
I reckon they just started it for fun, like as shits and giggles. And I reckon because remember we saw this like a year ago at least, and I reckon they went, wow, people love this, and then someone went, you know what? Well, Xbox, we'll publish that. You guys making that properly? Okay, we're on board. Here's $10 million to finish it or whatever.
Because here's the fun thing, is like all of these numbers and we're just at early access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Finished,
Isn't Fortnite still early access though?
Has it? No, come on. After how many seasons
finished,
now?
isn't it?
Come on. No.
I think that's still their like thing. Is it's like we're still in early act. Like,
that's an excuse for bugs and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not finished.
No. Come on. How many years? 2017?
5. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, there we go.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
8.
There we go.
Wait, what? Our maths isn't so good.
3. 7.
Close enough.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. This is the 7th year ago.
Yeah, gamers and numbers don't quite work, do they?
No. All right, well there you go, PalWorld. If you want to go check it out, it's on Game Pass, which I need to get because I don't know why I don't have Game Pass yet. But it's on Game Pass if you want to go get it. It is also on Steam
For 70 dirhams.
70 dirhams.
Yeah, not bad.
$27 if you work in dollars. So pretty sweet. Go check it out. We'll definitely be talking more about it on the next podcast after we've checked it out. All right, so just quickly, I wanted to talk a little bit about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. First of all, not the greatest name.
No, I think some of the movies have better titles.
Yeah, I mean, the Great Circle. I'm sorry, it sounds like a butt.
Help me out here, James. They said it during their conference. This falls between which two movies again?
Remember.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it is the likeness of Harrison Ford. But
Troy Baker, yes.
But Troy Baker is doing the voice, which I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say, oh, it sounds terrible. Some people said, oh, I didn't even realize. So I'm not that bothered about it. I don't think it's anything too bad. But you know what the funniest thing I heard about this game was? Is someone was complaining that they just ripped off Uncharted. Now, hear me out.
There's going to be comparisons.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I've got an arc.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Now, some people also said, well, Uncharted was just kind of ripped off from Tomb Raider. Right?
No.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Sure. Okay.
When you actually think back to it, and I do have some research behind this, very brief research.
Okay.
Uncharted, when they made it, apparently they actually took a lot of inspiration from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
So when you're saying, oh, you guys have made an Indiana Jones game and just ripped off Uncharted, well, technically,
It's the other way around.
it's just full circle, mate. Full circle.
Yeah.
They've made a game that is like Indiana Jones, but Uncharted had taken inspiration from Indiana Jones to make a game. So either way, and then also you could throw Tomb Raider in the mix,
Of course,
in a way as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a puzzle adventure game, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you can say that you've ripped off Uncharted by making this game. That's what I was
No,
trying
you
to
can't.
say.
And obviously, like with the treasure hunting thing and the archaeological aspects of it,
Wouldn't
it's very similar.
wouldn't that mean that everything got stolen from, or sorry, not stolen, inspired by everything else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I just thought, I was like, look, I'm not saying that it isn't like the game, and I'm not saying that that they could have made it more
Plus it's
like Uncharted, less Uncharted, whatever. But
It's first person as well, right?
See,
first and third,
ish. So
Ish.
yeah, if you're climbing a ladder or you're doing something, then it's third. But then let's say 80%. Oh, there's a cutscene that's also third person. But then the
Right.
majority of it's first person, which
Yeah.
defeats the purpose. 1, 2. My main concern about this game is that they're saying that it's coming out end of 2024. From what we look, this game needs a lot of polishing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it needs a lot of polishing. So,
yeah, there are some weirdy, glitchy things in what they released. But look, I don't think it looks like a bad game at all.
No.
And for, I do get worried with these IPs of, movies turned into games. Sometimes they can do it real bad.
Yes.
Games turned into movies, genius. The other way around, you're always a bit more skeptical, I think.
True.
And I feel like, look, it looks like a good game. It looks like a nice game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to know fully just yet. But from the trailer that I've seen, I think it looks pretty cool. Harrison Ford's face looks really good in some parts of it. And then in
Yes.
other parts, you're like, that's not Harrison Ford.
So
Yeah.
the first thing that kind of like ticked me off the wrong way when they start showcasing the game, and there's a scene where like Indiana's being tied up and he gets hit by another character. It looked so off.
Yeah.
It looked. I'm like, okay.
He looked like he was kind of weirdly grinning.
Yeah,
And he's only had, like, one tooth.
when the headbutt. If you see movies how it's done and everything, you see that they're doing. Of course, they're not hitting each other properly, but you can see that the angle that they did it from looks like it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, sure. But
Let's see.
I have listen. This is the first time that they showcased it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna do more across the year, and that's when we I think closer to end of 2024, because also when we say end of 2024, that means, are we talking financial year? Because if that's the case, then it gets to the first quarter of 2025. So
Who knows? Tentative, right?
Yeah,
We'll see.
so we still have a long way to go
Yeah.
for us to just say if it's going to
Yeah.
be good or bad. But I have a feeling, I have a feeling it's going to be a fun one.
I think so.
It actually sits. So to answer your previous question, it sits before the Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Acts as a prequel to that movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's set in like the 30s.
Fair enough.
Okay.
There's Nazis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Let's see how nothing can go wrong with
there's
that.
already
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
already the predetermined enemy in this already. So
Yeah.
let's see.
But I think machine gun. I
Yeah.
keep going machine gun, like machine gun, like
Machine
Gun
games.
Kelly, Machine Gun Games.
games. Obviously, they're more known for like pretty shooty games,
Yes.
right? Like Wolfenstein and
Yes.
Yeah.
some others.
Yeah.
So they probably had to tone that down for this one. But I'm sure the actual shooting element, which is a lot
I
of
guess-
Indiana Jones,
So in the
still should be
30s,
pretty
you'll
good.
have like war weapons. You'll have revolver. He has a revolver. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
his
yeah.
go-to, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you have the rope. which I love how they dedicated a huge segment of that presentation to show you how they tried to make it that you can use it with traversal and all that stuff. I'm like, but it's just a robot.
Wolfenstein is Nazis as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe there's like doing those types of games.
Uncharted that, hey, Uncharted
really
did that too. So
yeah. Oh, anyway, that is it. I guess we don't know too much. We haven't played it yet, so we can't say for
It's all
sure.
speculation.
But yeah, Indiana Jones and his great big round circle. Go check out the trailers out now. All right, a bit of news to start with. I guess we're going to go with some sad news, which has been happening a lot over 2023, and I guess it's continuing in 2024. Riot Games to lay off 11% of their workforce, which is, you say 11%, you're like, oh, that sounds small, but they have a pretty big workforce. So that's 530 employees, apparently. Ooh.
Due to downsizing, what's the issue?
Yeah, downsizing.
downsizing, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It says it had extensive growth and ambitious investments since 2019, but led to unstable costs and lack of room for experimentation.
You know what's the sad
That
part
sums
about?
it up.
You know what's the sad part about this? We're not going to count the thousands and thousands that got fired. Like, we're going to count them that got fired through 2023, but we're 3 weeks into 2024, and so far the headcount is reaching to 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's insane.
I mean, it is always sad for the gaming industry, but which is weird because it's also a growing industry. So I'm always like, there'll be something else for them. You know, if you've got a CV from Riot Games, it's a good company. They should be able to find something else in the gaming industry.
Plenty out there. I mean, the industry is so big. It's also so competitive. The ideas could be running out. There could be some concepts that can't be, achieved on like today's sort of.
I also think that a lot of these companies kind of like try and overreach.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's,
They go, oh, you know what? We're going to be the best company, and we're going to have this department and this department and this department.
Yeah.
And then they get down the line and they go, actually, guys, like, why? We could save like $1 million a month if we just didn't have that, which is doing nothing for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what happens.
your biggest thing is basically, because it's a weird phase now between shifting from physical to digital as well. So that could be a huge factor too, because if you notice, for example, FC24, they released the standard edition on like as physically, but then if you want to get the ultimate edition, which majority of people get before like the if you team and all that, like if you team basically and all these, it was only digital. Yeah, and I'm sure you guys covered the Insomniac leak as well that happened last month, and I'm sure you saw the numbers and everything, which everything leads to digital too. So it's kind of a weird phase because last year it did great from software perspective or like games perspective, but then a lot of people got affected from like the industry side.
Yeah,
and I think till that weird shift ends, I think that's when we start seeing things getting a bit more stable again.
No, for sure.
Let's see.
A bit more happy news. Did you know, because I didn't, Elder Scrolls Online is about to celebrate its 10th anniversary on April 4th.
Still going.
Still going strong, and it's coming out with a new expansion.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the Gold Road expansion, promising an immersive experience with exciting new features. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Introducing spellcrafting and Daedric Intrigue. Ugh.
Daedric Intrigue. Is that just interested in
Yeah, I guess so.
the Daedra?
Yeah, I have really no idea. It's just what it says. I'm just reading it.
I'm curious.
But I just thought that I didn't realize that game was still like going strong. 10 years.
I mean, I did give it a go. I was playing it for a while just to come off the back of Skyrim and the actual single player games.
I mean, we're not going to get another, Elder Scrolls for a while.
I know,
seems,
it's a good
so we might as
filler,
well
I guess.
Play
Yeah.
it.
But they're working on a new one, no?
Well,
Yeah,
I think so. It's six. Yeah.
Yeah. But who knows when
hope
it'll
so.
be out, Ali? Who knows?
2030.
Also, James, I've got some good news for you. Dave the Diver makes a splash in Game Developers Choice Awards 2024.
Oh, of course it did.
James did not stop going on about
I love
Dave
it.
the Diver.
It's so good.
Was it really good? Because I only heard about it through the Game Awards.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
it's like it's. I'm gonna go on a fucking tangent now.
Okay.
So, anyway, I'll keep it.
Let me
brief.
get my magazine.
I'll keep it brief, but it's like it mixes like mini game with an adventure with another mini game, sort of, and you're a diver and you have to fish. You hunt fish, you catch fish underwater, and you bring it to your sushi restaurant, and you run the sushi restaurant.
Okay.
And you help serve people. You serve beer, you serve sake, you serve whatever it may be.
But then there's like mini games and stuff all around that as well.
Yeah, and what makes it so happy and endearing is the animation. It's pixel art, but it's really quite funny. It's good, and it's just so
wow.
nice.
Okay, interesting.
I have seen plenty of videos on it, and it does look kind of cool.
It's addictive.
I don't know why. I think it's just like the limited time I do have to play games. I try and dedicate it to the games that I really want to play, like the big games and the AAA games and all of that. Where James, like your amazing knowledge of indie games
I love
is
indie
great.
games.
Well,
I love
and
indie games.
like he went through at least 3 of his these are like the 3 big indie games that I played all year, and all 3 of them got nominated for something.
Yeah, because as of late, indie games.
You got good taste, mate. You got good taste.
Indie games has been great for the past few years.
Yeah, they've been so creative, so unique, and the fact is, the reason I play them a lot is because I'm probably putting more time into my Switch rather than any other console.
Yeah,
because I usually play before. If it's not reading a book, I'll play my Switch before sleeping.
Okay,
and I can clock in about 45 minutes at least, and then I'll fall asleep.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any kids, so...
Fair enough. Well, there you go. Dave the Diver James is doing pretty well on the
That's
old...
great. Plus, it's so funny. Sorry,
It's actually up there with Baldur's Gate, Alan Wake, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Dave the Diver. Like, that is literally like what... Oh, and Dredge. You played Dredge as well.
So just on that, Dredge is my other favorite, one of my other favorites from last year, and they do a collaboration. So there's DLC for Dave the Diver.
Oh, I'm excited now.
With Dredge.
With Dredge.
Oh, yeah, that's the... Yeah.
It's the boat one.
A lot of aqua-themed stuff going on, isn't there? Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Well, that is your gaming news of the week. Well, there you go. That is podcast number 30 for my 30th birthday. Yay! I've been planning this for about a year and a half to make sure that it was 30 on 30.
It worked out.
But thank you so much, James and Ali, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
From ZGames. It was a pleasure having you on. Obviously, your gaming knowledge is incredible.
Thank you.
You have some amazing games that you manage the publishing of, and which is why we're now best friends, Ali.
Of course we are.
It's not the only reason we're best friends.
And the moment the mic goes off, he never responds to my text.
No, of course not. Of course not. You're welcome to come back whenever you want on the podcast. So we love having you. But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you're planned to go down to ZGames, Dubai Hills Mall today from 10 p.m. to get your hands on the first copy of Tekken 8. Woo. Yeah. We will see you on podcast number 31 on my 31st birthday. No, just joking.
It's like a 1 year gap.
In a 1 year gap.
A lot of news to cover.
Yeah. In a couple of weeks' time. So thank you very much for hanging out. And don't forget to follow and subscribe share it with your grandma and your friends and your dog and all of that. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Yeah.